Hello, this is D, and I'm back with another video. And today we are going to upgrade my Asus Rog Ally. We're going to put a 4 TB hard drive into it. As well, we're going to change the back cover. We got a Modcase. We're going to put the purple translucent back cover on there. It should improve the cooling and performance, and I think it just makes it look a little bit more cooler overall. Now, I was trying to use the Asus Cloud backup feature to back up my Windows installation, and it just wasn't working properly. I had to update a couple of BIOSes, and it just wouldn't work. So we're going to use a program today called Macrium Reflect. I think that's what it's called. I'll put the name of it up on the screen so you guys can check it out for yourself. And we're going to clone our internal drive onto the SSD that we're going to put into it so that I don't lose any of my files or my games. I don't have to start from scratch. So hopefully this goes as planned. So I'm just going to take you guys through the whole procedure. So it's going to be a little bit of a longer video. There's going to be certain portions that I'll probably speed up just for time purposes, but we're going to go from step 1 all the way to completion. So if you want to know how to upgrade your SSD inside of your Asus Rog Ally, this is the perfect video for you. So without further ado, we're just going to go and start with the installation of Macrium Reflect. Okay, we're back, and I realized that I actually had the wrong software. So now that I have the correct software, I need to get the home edition. That's the one that you need, that can actually give you all the functionalities that you need to get out of your Asus Rog Ally in order to clone it. So we're going to just download this now, and then I'll fast forward ahead to the instructions. Okay, so we rebooted into the program. So now everything should work. So we're going to go clone disk. Should be able to select the disk, which is this disk. We should be able to okay, next. So I think it's important that I document each step that we're doing. So I went into disk management, and I'm going to partition the drive here, and now it's asking me to select the initialization of the disk, and you want to make it GPT. Okay, make sure you don't make it MBR. You want it to be GPT. So we're going to say okay. Let's name this drive. Let's give it a name. New simple drive. Next. It's going to be D drive. Actually, you know what? Let's just leave it the way it is. I think once we initialize it there, we should just leave it to the other program to do it. So now, in theory, it should work. Let's see. Yes, there we go. All right. So actions. Actually, refresh. Clone this disk. So that you guys know, hopefully you can see that. It's going to take a while. So we're going to come back when this is all done, and hopefully it cloned the drive. If I had to guess, it's probably going to take about an hour or so. So yeah, we're definitely not going to be recording all of this. So I'll see you guys when it's done. Okay, finally, we have cloned our drive. So it took maybe about an hour of time. So now that it's cloned, actually it says it took 52 minutes and 7 seconds. So that's not too bad. Everything is set up on our 4 TB hard drive. So basically now all that's left for us to do is to shut this down and to take off the back and install the new drive, and I'm going to take you through the whole process. Okay, so now that we have formatted our hard drive, or I should say cloned our hard drive, now we're going to take out the hard drive, put the new hard drive in, and apply, or I should say install the Modcase. So this is the Modcase. It actually has a kickstand. You got a nice little heat sink here. You got some memory pads or cooling pads, whatever you want to call it. So let's get to unscrewing, and they also give you a screwdriver in here. There's some type of, I guess this is for you to hold with your hand. So you would wrap it around the back here, and you could hold it on your finger. They give you some extra screws in here in case you lose some of the screws in the back, and they provide you with a screwdriver. So let's get started on this. Now, I'm just going to put this out the way here. You're going to want to lay out your screws in the order that you take them out so you know where they are. I know that all of these screws are the same except for this one. This screw is actually shorter. So just make sure that you put them in the right order so you don't mix up the short screw. So you just basically have like 6 screws to take out here. There's the first one. I'd probably use something plastic, but you know, I don't care about the back because we are going to be changing it. So I can apply a little bit of normal pressure. There we go. Fairly simple. Yeah, so that back screw there, yeah, it's held in by a washer. Okay, so I'm glad I didn't try to yank it out. Okay, so look at the placement as well of your bumpers because you're gonna have to put them back in the same way, so take a note of that. We're also probably gonna have to apply some spacers here because I heard that when you apply the Modcase that you don't have the same clickiness, so to put a certain type of spacer, I think it's the 0.4 millimeter one they recommend that you put in there. So we're gonna put those in afterwards on our other case. But first, let's get to the hard drive. So the SSD is under here. As you can see, it's right there. We're gonna take this out. That's probably not a good idea. I use my finger. All right, so there's the SSD that we have in there. This was a 512 gigabyte M.2, and we're going to be upgrading to a 4 terabyte. Now, this is the piece that we need. I'll link all of the stuff that I'm using for today in the description down below so you guys can order it for yourself and do this easily. So the kit that I got actually included 2, which is good in case I screw up one of them or, you know, I get a second Rog Ally in the future. It looks pretty standard, so it looks like this goes here like this. Okay, that looks like it's in properly, I think. Yeah, there we go. Screw's not lining up completely there. Got 2 screw holes there. I don't know if we're actually gonna, let's take this out again. I don't know if we're gonna be actually able to screw this. Yeah, I don't actually see a second hole here, so that's just gonna have to stay in. Oh, that's for the SSD once we put it in. Never mind. Okay. All right. So we got that there. We're gonna screw this in. Where's the screw that we just took out? Ah, there it is. So we're gonna screw this in. I hope this is coming out good on camera because I can't really see it. I hope it's flush enough to allow the drive to install over it. Okay. Where's our drive? Where's our drive? Oh, that would help if I got the drive. Where is it? Oh, there we go. All right, here's our drive. This was the enclosure that we used. And we're using a Ranaxana, if I'm pronouncing that right. It's an NVMe Express. It's PCIe Gen4. It has 3D NAND on it. It's a very, very good drive. So if we cloned everything properly, this should boot up with no issues. So we're going to push this in. There we go. And then they provide, we need a screw for there. Yes, and they provide it. It's provided in a kit. They give you actually 3 of them, so that's good. And you also, in the kit that I will link, you also get like a screwdriver. You get everything that you need. get 2 screwdrivers actually. Okay. Let's get this in. There we go. And that's pretty much it. So our hard drive is in. So now if you're not installing a mod case on your Asus Rog Ally and you're changing the SSD, then you don't need to do the other steps. All you would do is just put this back on and like screw it into place. Oops, my trigger fell down here. Gotta be very careful with this because it all seems pretty delicate. Oh, okay. There's a space that goes into it. You know what? I don't think I'm gonna play around with this too much because I don't want to break it because I do have to install it. But nonetheless, what you'd be doing is just installing this back on, and then you'd be good to go. But of course, we're gonna be doing the mod case, so we're gonna have to go a step further. I'll just give you an example of what it's gonna look like when it's on. It'll look something like that when it's on. But we're going to have to install the back triggers and the top triggers. All right, we're going to screw these back in. The kids are coming into the house now, so we're going to have some noise. I'm in the bedroom. Ah.
Hi, Dad.
Hi, son.
I was saying walk, but I thought you were hiding, but
No. I'm fixing this. I'm filming it for YouTube.
Huh?
I'm filming this for YouTube. I'm modifying my Asus Rog Ally.
So
I put a new case on it.
how long is it going to be then?
I don't know. Probably longer that you're here now. Nah, it shouldn't take me that long.
What about...
So, guys, as you're putting this in, if you're wondering which holes to put it in, the bottom hole, there's actually like pins that help you align it to keep it in place. So it should be pretty easy to figure out where the screw holes go on that.
Dad.
And if not, you can just see how I'm doing it, and then you can figure it out.
Dad, put it together and leave it till tomorrow, and we will bring it to Mita's house.
Okay.
Because I have a new game, and I watched all my games by... I've been kind of asking it.
You know this thing can play Roblox? This thing?
No? I want...
Yeah, it can.
Can you play here then?
No, you can't play here because I'm doing some work. And Joel's going to want his computer soon, so I'm going to have to get out of his room. Okay, let Daddy finish this. Go in your room, watch TV. I'll be with you, okay? All right, so there we go. So we have both sides put in there. Now we just got to kind of click these back into place. I think I don't want to add too much pressure. I don't know if I was supposed to stick these in beforehand. Uh-oh. I think maybe we're supposed to stick these in beforehand and then screw it on. Okay, trial and error. Yeah, I don't want to add too much pressure. But it looks, unless these go down into that, no. Oh, maybe. Yeah, they do. Okay. Okay, so you kind of just push it in and snap it in and it'll go. Don't add too much pressure. I get scared with things like this because I got pretty strong hands and I just don't want to break it accidentally. Okay, there we go. So our triggers are back on, and as you can see, they're working good. So now all we got to do is put the back buttons on and then we're done. So it's a pretty straightforward process. I see down here on the original one, we got some heat pads here. And on the mod cover, we don't. So I'm not sure if we're going to need it for how we're installing it up here. But, you know what? I think I'm probably going to end up taking these off and putting them on here. But let's just get the back plates on first. I mean the back buttons. Okay, so here we go. Just gonna unscrew this here. Looks like it's a whole system. Oh, there's a spring. There's also a spring there. So make sure you take them off the right way. And I don't know, I'm gonna guess it. You just probably pop it out. Yeah, I think it just pops out. Let's see. Yeah, you just pop it out. Okay, so this is for our left side. I'm gonna just snap that in there. Uh-oh, something fell. Something just fell. I don't know where it came from. Just had a little sticky piece fall onto me, and I don't know where it came from. We'll figure that out afterwards. Those ones here, we got 3 of them. And that should give you the right space so that your back button remains clicky. Put that into position. We're going to put our spacer on here. Oh, this is going to be a pain in the butt. Okay, our spacer is on, and now we're going to screw with the spring back in there. Put our spring on, and then we're going to screw it in. It's not really hard, it's just a little bit time consuming. Just trying to get this screw into position here. Okay. Seems a little loose. Doesn't really feel that clicky right now. And I don't know if I screw that in. I'm gonna release it and screw it back in again. I think I didn't catch the thread properly. Yeah. Okay. I don't know. Seems. No, I'm gonna wait till I put it all together before I really judge this part. So let's just do the other side. And we can take a look to see how this one is in there. Yeah, it's not really clicky when it's not in place. So that one's probably good. So I guess we want to put this right in the middle. Yeah, it looks right about in the middle. And next we just screw it back in. I think that's it. And then we're done. Okay, so now we're just going to put the back on. We just got to snap it into place. Make sure all the clips are in there, going all the way around. buttons all seem to be working fine. And now all we gotta do is screw it in. So we're gonna screw this screw in first. We're done. Got the stand case on. This is what it looks like. It's transparent, so you can see right through it. Our buttons are all working, nice and clicky. And I noticed as you tighten it up, the buttons, the clickiness comes back. So if you put it on, it's not that clicky right away. Wait till you put all the screws in. It definitely returns. So all of our buttons are working good. Everything is installed properly. Now all we got to do is turn it on, and hopefully it boots up. Remember, we cloned our SSD and we put a new SSD inside, so let's see if it boots. Oh, it is not booting, guys. Oh, that's crazy. Wow, guys, it's not booting up. Are we gonna take an L today? Is this our L? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It is not booting up, guys. That's not a good look. Here, let me get the charger. And let's just hope it's dead. Okay, so the charging indicator light comes on. It could be just that it died on us. Okay, there we go. I thought I bricked my Asus Rog Ally. So we're back in action. I guess the battery's dead on it. So now we're gonna find out the moment of truth. If the cloning was successful, we should just boot right into the operating system. And that's what I'm hoping for here. Looking good so far. There we go, guys. Successful. So we cloned our drive, and then we took out the old drive, we installed the new drive, we put the mod case on. As you can see on the back here, we put the mod case on, and we have a successful boot. All of our files have transferred over, all of our games have transferred over. Here's the old drive, so you guys can see this is the old drive. So it was successful. So this is officially a guide of how to upgrade your SSD inside of your Asus Rog Ally. It's also a guide on how to install the mod case. It was a successful install. It didn't really take too long. The longest part was actually cloning the drive. That took the longest. Taking off the screws, there's like 6 screws, and then there's like the screws that you have to take off for the back triggers here. Apart from that, it was pretty easy. It was maybe a little cumbersome because the screws are small and you have to put the spacer on, so you got to be a little bit delicate and take your time with it. But overall, it was a pretty easy process. And as you can see, we have our Asus Rog Ally updated. It has a new SSD. It has a 4 terabyte SSD in there. Let's take a look. Okay, so now let's check how much storage we have here. Let's go to our drive, C drive. Actually, you know what? Let's get out of this. Actually, let's go to Format Drive, Create and Format Partition, so we can at least see it. And there we go. Everything was installed. The only thing is that I got about 3.2 gigs of unallocated memory, so we're gonna try to increase this volume here. Oh, we can't extend the volume, so that is just wild. So for some reason I can't extend the volume there. My operating system is there, so I don't know. I'm gonna have to make a new drive here. We'll name it D. Next, finish. And there we go. So we have an extra drive there. I wanted my operating system to stretch out, but it's okay because I can still install all of my games there, so it's not really a big deal. I still have, you know, access to the whole drive. So overall, it was a pretty successful install. This is the only thing here I wish I could have extended the drive, and I probably did one step wrong, but you guys can follow my steps in order to get a successful cloning of your drive, and perhaps you can Google it. I'll try to leave it in the comment section down below if there is a way to extend your drive, because clearly I missed a step there, but nonetheless I still have access to all of it. So all in all, it's a win for me, especially seeing how my SD card reader is dead. So now I have over 3 terabytes to install my games on, which is more than enough for this handheld. So if you guys like this type of content, I'll continue to make it. I usually don't do videos like this, but I thought this would be a great educational video, and this was my first time doing it, so I just wanted to share it with you guys. So if this is something you want to do, I will leave in the description down below all of the parts that I used for this. I'll leave a link for the mod case. I'll leave a link for the SD adapter that I had to install in order to install an NVMe drive. I'll also give you a link to the drive that I used for this. So please like, share, comment, and I'll see you guys on the next one.